What a week. You have probably seen plenty of our posts about this place, but wow, it has been so much fun. After 10 months on the road looking for the perfect place to hold our semi-annual family reunion, we are pretty confident that this is where it's all going to go down. So stick around as we share where we've been, what we've done, and why we've decided to make this the place.
About cutting it close. Our semi-annual family reunion is right around the corner and we hadn't picked a destination yet.
Nearly 2 years ago, we volunteered to find the perfect place for our family's semi-annual family reunion. And at that point, we had started building the bus, but it wasn't anywhere near done yet.
It's been quite a while since we'd gone exploring this country, but we knew that our travels in the bus would give us an awesome opportunity to experience some epic places throughout the country. And let's just say, we weren't disappointed.
Yeah, this country has definitely not disappointed. Just about everywhere we've been has been absolutely incredible.
Honestly, we could have picked anywhere and our family would have been down for it. But we set out some guidelines and set out to find the perfect spot. And we did during our spring break birthday trip for our son a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so what were some of those parameters that we had set? Well, we have a very large family spread all over the country. Some of the family will be flying in and some will be driving. Our family members have different careers. They range from school teachers to attorneys and doctors to chefs and so on. So the income levels are very different. We knew we had to find a place where there would be a variety of lodging options at different price points, as well as a variety of activities that everyone could afford. Finally, we didn't want to go to anyone's home state or to a state we've previously been for a family reunion. With those parameters set, we had already ruled out places like California, Texas, Colorado, North Carolina, Utah, Montana, Missouri, and Kansas.
Our original plan when we hit the road was to head straight north and then west. But those plans changed after we had a fire in our bus while we were visiting the Grand Tetons. After we got the bus repaired in Utah, we decided to relaunch our adventure by heading east. We visited a ton of places along the way, considering how each of them could be great for our family reunion. And sure enough, there were some really great stops along the way that would have worked out just fine. We enjoyed Nauvoo, Illinois and Chicago. Minneapolis, Minnesota was beautiful. Finger Lakes region in New York was breathtaking. Ocean City, New Jersey almost took first place in our search. Then there were cities like Hilton Head, South Carolina, New Orleans, Louisiana, Orlando, Florida, Nashville, Tennessee, and East Ellijay, Georgia.
Every single one of these places has so much to offer, but none of them were exactly what we were looking for.
That is until we found this epic city, the city.
So, what is the city? The perfect city for a family reunion? For us, we found everything we were looking for and more during our son's birthday vacation for spring break in, drumroll please, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
I'm sure you've seen some of our videos or reels about our spring break vacation in Pigeon Forge. But let me tell you, this place deserves all the attention.
We did so many awesome things while we were there, and there was just so much more to do. We are so excited to be planning our trip back for the family reunion.
So what made our spring break week so epic?
Well, everything. Adventure after adventure after adventure.
And it all started when we first drove into Pigeon Forge and checked into Camp Margaritaville Resort and Lodge.
Now, we had stayed at a Camp Margaritaville just outside of Orlando, so we had some idea of what to expect at a Camp Margaritaville RV resort, but this one had a lodge. So we parked the bus outside and checked into the lodge for just a couple of nights to get that experience.
Camp Margaritaville is one of the most fun RV resorts, and this lodge just made it that much better because it meant we could have other friends and families that don't RV fly into Knoxville Airport 30 to 40 minutes away and join us at the resort. The pools, the fire pits, the water slide, lazy river, and it's all amazing and super family friendly.
Yeah, so Camp Margaritaville is fantastic, but let's talk about all that we did in Pigeon Forge. We'll try to get this all in the right order, but don't get upset if you see or have seen another video of ours that has these activities in a different order, because it was such an awesome week, and a lot of the days seemed just to run together because we were having so much fun.
Yes, our first full day in Pigeon Forge went straight to our super fun place called
Beyond the Lens. They call it Technotainment, where entertainment and technology meet. When you think of technology meets entertainment, what comes to mind? Tell us in the comments.
Our kids had such a blast checking out all the different types of entertainment and technology. Beyond the Lens has had everything from Atari and old school arcades to modern virtual reality. And it was like a total technology entertainment museum mashup. Just super cool.
And within Beyond the Lens was Fly Ride. A big screen flying experience. But my favorite thing of all about Beyond the Lens and Fly Ride was the memories we made there. I can still hear Evelyn shouting, "This is amazing!" as we were flying over the oceans and the whales were splashing, and Colette throwing her fist into the air as we flew over Yellowstone, and the look on everyone's faces as we got to go flying with the Blue Angels. Colette, what was your favorite thing in here today?
I liked all the VR sets.
All the VR, lots of virtual reality. Roman? Same? Virtual reality? Bam Bam, what was your favorite stuff? The ball pit? Okay, Evelyn, what was your favorite thing here?
The flying.
Fly Ride? Fly Ride was a ton of fun. Fly Ride was your favorite too?
The roller coaster and the fly ride.
The roller coaster and the Fly Ride? Did you make your own roller coaster?
I made it.
Babe, what was your favorite thing here?
I really liked all the little Nintendo games and things. I thought they were really fun.
Our second full day in Pigeon Forge was a little wet and rainy, but we had noticed across the street from Beyond the Lens was the Titanic Museum. So we decided to head over for a little homeschooling field trip.
As I'm thinking about it right now, today is April 14th. Do any of you know why that's significant to the Titanic? Let us know in the comments.
We loved this museum. The artifacts and exhibits were really stunning.
I personally loved that when we walked into the museum, we were each given a boarding pass with a name and story from an actual passenger or crew member that was on the ship. By the end of the museum, and through the whole audio tour, you learn if your person survived or perished. Roman, do you remember anything about your passenger? What happened to them? How old were they?
My character was 1 and he survived.
All right. So Roman's character, Roman's passenger, was just 1 year old, a boy, and he survived.
Going into the museum, we were worried that it may be a little bit too much for our young children, but we were so pleased to learn that the audio tour, there was one for the adults, was different than the children's. So they got an age-appropriate tour, which made the entire experience perfect.
Absolutely. Now, Colette, did you learn anything about the Titanic?
Oh yes, it went down early in the morning on the 15th.
On the 15th, and today is the 14th, right?
Yes, it hit the iceberg on the 14th.
There you go. Okay, so day 3 was a full day of activities, and we started off the day by surprising the kids with some snow tubing. That's right, snow tubing. So it's Pigeon Forge, spring, it's not snowing. There is no snow on the ground. But I was reading a tweet before we got to Pigeon Forge and had heard about this indoor snow tubing place called Pigeon Forge Snow. We always try to stay in 70-degree weather so the kids don't get to experience the cold very often. Snow, we had to give it a try.
Racing down the slopes at 35 miles an hour was so much fun. The kids went non-stop for an hour or two and had so much fun.
Dina and I also got in on the action, and I was reminded that I am not as young as I once was.
After a morning at Pigeon Forge Snow, we decided to stop and check out the Paula Dean's Lumberjack Adventure before watching the Lumberjack show that evening.
This place was super cool and is home to the world's only zip coaster. It's a roller coaster, but you're suspended from a harness. You ride one at a time, and your coaster detaches from the rails and becomes a zip line for a short time before getting back onto the roller coaster tracks. I was a little sketched out by it, but after watching Roman jump off the top of the tower, I knew I couldn't back down, so I went for it and had a blast.
Then we spent some time on the ropes course, and Roman even got to do some axe throwing before grabbing our seats at the show. Talk about entertaining. Those lumberjacks really put on a great show and kept all of us fully entertained.
All right. What does that bring us to? Day 3? Maybe day 4? I forget. But here's the deal. We were in Pigeon Forge during 2 of the biggest car shows of the year. They happened to be back to back. So we saw like a gazillion Ford Mustangs that were there for the Ponies in the Smokies annual event. And there was a Corvette show also going on there. So there's like a gazillion Corvettes running around town. I don't think I've ever seen so many sports cars in my life, and they were beautiful.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a race car, so instead we found some go-karts to race at the track.
The whole family got in on the action, and these weren't just typical circle tracks. My favorite was the 3 or maybe even 4-story tall wooden racetrack.
Bam Bam, what was your favorite car to race at the racetrack? Do you like riding with Mommy or by yourself?
By myself.
We spent a little longer than we expected at the track, which was okay because after all that racing, we were ready to go sit down and enjoy the Pirates Voyage dinner show. And it was so good. I mean, the show and the food.
I'm not sure what I was expecting with the dinner show, but it was really so well done and a ton of fun. I think a few of our kids didn't even eat because they were so enthralled with the show going on. It was just a ton of fun.
Evelyn is a huge fan of pirates. So, Baby Cakes, what did you like most about the Pirates Voyage dinner in Pigeon Forge?
About eating the food that pirates eat.
Oh, yeah, you liked eating the same food that pirates eat. That was definitely good. Was it yummy food? It was so good. And was the show awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah? I loved watching the divers jump off the big high dives and have a really good... They splashed a lot. There was a lot of action in the show, and it was fantastic.
The next day, I forgot what number of day it was, but we spent the whole day on the island. Again, I had no idea what to expect, but it was super pleasantly surprised.
The island is a shopping and amusement district. It's an island in the river, and it was just a ton of fun. There were all sorts of shops and some hotels, and of course, amusement park rides. And now, when I was young, I worked at an amusement park, and I'm an Irely. To anyone that knows amusement park rides, you may recognize the name Irely from the ride manufacturer Irely Aircraft Company. But as I've aged, I've learned to enjoy observing my loved ones on the rides much more than I enjoy riding the rides. So I went on a few, but really just watching the kids have such a great time on these rides brings me so much joy. And it was such a good time watching Dina get flipped upside down and spun around too.
And at the island, we finally got to ride a Ferris wheel, something none of us had ever done, and the Great Smoky Mountain wheel gave us an incredible view for the entire area.
It really was a fantastic view of the area of the Great Smoky Mountains. I think the kids' favorite part of the island was the 4 or 5 story tall ropes course, where they spent hours climbing around while attached to some safety harnesses, and the little kids got to enjoy some of that too on the kiddie ropes course, which actually gave me a good excuse to stay grounded with them while y'all went up on the tall ride, tall course.
And before we left, of course, we had to check out Skyfly for another epic flight where we soared across the globe.
These type of rides are definitely some of my favorites, and this one was just so well done.
Yeah, it was really well filled out. Like the environment of the line going through the ride and the storyline of the ride, it was really well done, and I loved that about it.
Now, at the island, there's a lot of options to purchase tickets for the rides and whatnot, but we got the unlimited pass, which is good for 2 days. So, what did we do? We came back for a second day of
Obviously.
riding around and having a great time.
Finally, our last full day in Pigeon Forge, we had to take the opportunity to go to an absolutely gorgeous, scenic, and historic drive through the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
We were there just a couple of weeks too early for all the roads to be open, but we thoroughly enjoyed the scenic loop around Cades Cove, where we were actually able to stop and explore some of the old houses and churches and the mills and so much more.
We also got to see 3 black bears on our drive, a mama and 2 cubs.
Absolutely. Those were really cool. They were kind of off in the distance climbing up the mountain. And after that, we went and we spent the evening back at the resort, splashing in the pool and relaxing. Gosh, that was just such a great time.
We hope you enjoyed our recap of our spring break trip in Pigeon Forge. Hopefully you see why we've chosen Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for our family reunion this year.
Be sure to click on all those buttons, like, comment, share, save, subscribe. You know the drill. We're looking forward to recapping all of our adventures so far and getting everyone caught up on where we've been. So be sure you also hit that bell icon so you can get notifications when we post our next video. Until then, just remember, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. We're the Ireleys, aka the Double Decker Fam, and we'll see you out there on the open road. Bye!